You're sitting on the sofa, lost in your phone or a show, when you feel it, a soft, deliberate weight landing on your arm. You look down, and there it is, your dog's paw resting on you, one gentle touch, followed by that unmistakable look, and you know instantly what your dog is doing. It wants something. A treat, a walk, the ball, your attention. My dog is pawing at me because my dog wants something. And often, you are absolutely right. But that single explanation, so quick and so obvious, is hiding a much richer truth. Because when your dog reaches out and places a paw on you, it is not always making a demand. Sometimes it is asking. Sometimes it is soothing. Sometimes it is simply saying, "I'm here with you." And sometimes that little paw is telling you something you really ought to hear. If you enjoy understanding the hidden meanings behind your dog's behavior, make sure to subscribe to Dog Mind, because there's always more to discover about what your dog is really trying to tell you. Think about how remarkable that gesture actually is. Your dog cannot speak. It cannot point or write or tap you on the shoulder and explain itself. And yet it has found a way to reach across the gap between you, to make deliberate physical contact, and to say without a single word, "Pay attention to me. This matters." Tonight, let's look closely at why your dog puts its paw on you and learn to read everything that one small touch is trying to say. Let's start with the explanation that is usually, at least partly, correct, the request. Because more than anything else, pawing is a tool your dog has learned to use on you, and it works extraordinarily well. To understand why, we have to talk about the single most powerful.
Learning through consequences. Here is how it happens, almost invisibly. One day, early on, your dog happened to paw at you, maybe by accident, maybe in play, and you responded. You looked down, you smiled, you petted it, or you got up and filled the food bowl. And in that moment, a lesson was quietly written in your dog's mind. When I put my paw on this human, good things happen. Dogs are magnificent students of what works, and pawing works, so they do it again. And every time you respond, you reinforce it a little more, until that paw becomes a reliable little lever your dog can pull whenever it wants a result. And here is the slightly humbling part. Very often, we trained this ourselves, without ever meaning to. Think of how many dogs are taught to shake or to give paw and are showered with treats and praise for lifting that little foot. To the dog, the lesson is beautifully simple. Offering a paw earns rewards. So it is no wonder that paw starts showing up everywhere, long after the trick is over. Your dog learned that its paw is a key, and now it uses that key on every door it can find. So a great deal of pawing really is a request. Feed me, walk me, throw the ball, notice me. But watch closely, because the target of the request is written all over the moment. A dog pawing you and then staring at the door is asking to go out. A dog pawing you and glancing at the kitchen is asking about dinner. A dog pawing and then dropping into a play bow wants the game to begin. The paw says please. The rest of the body tells you please what?
Picture a calm, quiet evening, your dog resting against you, and it slowly lifts a paw and lays it gently across your arm and just leaves it there. Nothing follows. No expectant stare, no nudging for food. That relaxed, resting paw, offered in a peaceful moment, is often just a small gesture of connection. It is your dog doing the closest thing it can to reaching out and holding your hand. A quiet, physical way of saying, "I'm here, and I'm happy right beside you." There is another meaning, too, one that surprises people, because it sits underneath the surface of the gesture. In the language of dogs, a lifted paw can be a signal of uncertainty, or a way of smoothing over a tense moment. A dog that feels a little unsure, or that senses some friction in the air, might raise a paw almost apologetically, as a gentle, appeasing gesture. It is the canine equivalent of a hesitant, placating touch. Offered in a slightly uneasy moment, that paw is not a demand and not quite affection. It is a soft attempt to keep the peace, to say, "Everything's okay between us, isn't it?" And this brings us to the meaning that matters most for your dog's well-being, because it asks you to look a little closer. Most pawing is perfectly happy and healthy, but sometimes pawing is a sign that a dog is not okay. When the pawing becomes frantic, insistent, when a dog paws and cannot seem to settle no matter how you respond, when the whole body looks tense and wound up rather than loose and easy, that pawing may be coming from anxiety rather than a simple want.
In that case, the dog is not really asking for a treat. It is asking for relief from a feeling it cannot manage on its own. That is not a moment for frustration.
It is a moment for gentleness, and if it becomes a pattern, for the help of a veterinarian or a qualified behavior professional who can look at the whole picture. If you're finding these little insights into your dog's behavior useful, subscribe to DogMind and stay with us. Understanding your dog starts with noticing the small things. So how do you tell all these paws apart? The request, the affection, the apology, the anxiety. You do it the way you should read everything your dog does. Never by the paw alone, but by the whole dog in the whole moment. Look at the body. Is it loose and soft or tight and restless? Look at the face. Is it calm and content or worried and unsettled? Look at what happens next. Does the dog relax once you respond, or does it keep pawing as if nothing you do is quite enough? And look at where the rest of the body is pointing. The same paw can say, "Let's play," or "Feed me," or "I love you," or "I'm worried," and it is everything around the paw that tells you which. There is one more thing worth a gentle mention. Occasionally, pawing is not about you at all, but about the dog's own body. A dog that suddenly starts pawing insistently at its own face, or scratching at itself, or that changes its pawing habits out of nowhere, might be dealing with an itch, a discomfort, or something physical. If a dog's pawing suddenly changes, or seems tied to distress in its own body, that is worth a check with the vet. The everyday social paw, placed on your arm with a hopeful look, is a message meant for you. A dog worrying at its own body is a different message, and one worth paying attention to. So the next time you... But look closer, and you might find so much more. You might find a clever animal pulling the lever it learned works on you. You might find a quiet gesture of pure affection, a paw laid gently on you for no reason but closeness. You might find a soft, uncertain request to keep the peace. Or you might find a dog quietly telling you it needs your help. Because that small, deliberate touch is one of the most direct things your dog can do. It cannot take your hand, so it does the only thing it can. It reaches out and it places a paw on you, and it waits for you to understand. And now, at last, you do. If you want to keep learning how to understand the small signals your dog gives you every day, subscribe to DogMind. There is always another behavior, another gesture, and another message waiting to be understood. And if this helped you see your dog's behavior a little differently, consider subscribing to DogMind. It might just change the way you see your dog. If you love discovering what your dog is really thinking and feeling, subscribe to DogMind and join us for the next video.